everyone, it's Emily here from Peachtree Crafts, and today is episode 5 of my reading album series. If you haven't seen the previous episodes, make sure to go and check them out. I have a playlist with all of them in it. I'll link that below for you in case you want to tune in and watch. My goal for this year is to read 35 books. And I'm currently on book number 17. I'm going in order with this album of the times that I read the book. So right now, I think this is on book number 9 and 10, I believe. So we just have a few more episodes left until we're caught up. And in this video, I'm doing Verity by Colleen Hoover. And then the book that's on the next spread is The House in the Cerulean Sea, and that is by TJ Klune. So both of these are pretty popular books, so let me know in the comments if you have read either of these and what you thought of them. Try not to give any spoilers. I know it's really hard for me not to, but I'm sure other people will appreciate it. So this first spread, I did kind of already have the papers laid out. I just went ahead and did that off camera. It saves some time in the video, and it helps me to just be able to focus on the decorating process and, deciding what types of elements that I want to use to make it look cute. So this paper here is from the Dear Lizzie collection, which I've been using for the majority of this album, as well as some other little rainbow things. And then the stickers that I just added, that is from the Pick Me Up collection by Paige Evans. And I'm really surprised by how well these go together. I never would have thought, because they came out at very different times, and they're also different designers, but I feel like I use these stickers a lot you'll see them on the next spread as well, and I just feel like they really complement the papers and each other. So I do end up switching out that bottom paper on the left side. I wanted to be able to add some journaling, and I didn't really have a spot for that already made, so I just used this little cut apart. I did use the same cut apart in a different video for this album, but you can't really tell whenever you're flipping through. They're far enough apart, so I didn't really mind using the same card again. And the pictures for this spread, I have a picture of the book cover, and then in the top left corner that you see, that is a picture of my sister-in-law, and she wanted to read it as well, so we went to a bookstore to pick it up for her because I had already loaned my copy out. So she really enjoyed it as well, and I remember she called my husband and I, because he also read this one, to tell us what she thought about it, and she was very surprised by the ending. If you haven't read Verity, I'll give you a quick synopsis. So it is about a woman named Lowen, who is a writer. She agrees to be the ghost writer for Verity Crawford, which is a very popular suspense novel writer, but she signed a contract for a 6-book series. However, she got into a really bad accident, causing her to be paralyzed and not finish the contract. So Lowen agrees to pick up where Verity left off with the series, and will get a big lump sum of money. She also ends up staying at the house for a little bit that Verity lives in with her husband Jeremy, because she has to look through the notes and everything, and read the books and get all of the story maps and things that Verity left behind. While she's looking through the office that Verity uses for her writing, she finds a manuscript, essentially an autobiography that Verity wrote. She ends up reading a little bit of it, and it is very shocking, the contents of it. So you kind of have two stories in one. You have the story of Lowen reading it and writing these books, and Verity's illness, and then how Jeremy factors into that. And then the other storyline is the chapters from the manuscript that are inside the book that you read about Verity and how she met Jeremy, her life and everything, some confessions that she has as well. So it's really interesting, and then there's a really big twist at the end too that makes you question pretty much everything that you read. So if you're into psychological stuff and thrillers, then you would probably enjoy that one. Now here I am documenting the second book in this spread, which is House on the Cerulean Sea. This one was such a cute summer read. It was so wholesome, and probably one of the funniest books I've ever read, to be honest. It's not something that I typically go for, and I didn't know that it would be funny until I started reading it, but it's just really silly and cute. And it is about a man named Linus Baker. He is older. He's in his 40s, I think, and he works for this company where they check out orphanages. So he's kind of like a caseworker. Anytime something goes wrong in the orphanage, he goes and does an investigation to make sure everything is up to par. Then he determines whether that orphanage can carry on or not. And he gets assigned to a job where this house is on an island and they have very magical youth. Some of the characters are a gnome named Talia. She's a female gnome, one of the very few females of the species. There's also a 6-year-old boy named Lucy, who is the Antichrist. There's also a wyvern, which is kind of like a bat-human mix, and a few others as well. So he goes on this island to investigate and see what is going on. Also, there's the head of household who is Arthur Parnassus, who has his own secrets. And he learns a lot about himself on the island, a lot about the townspeople, about Arthur and the kids, of course. And at the end, he has to make his decision, of course, whether the orphanage should keep going or whether it should be shut down. So it's a really cute one, and there's lots of silly things that happen. It's just a very wholesome read, and if you're looking for something for the summer, then you would really like this one. I didn't really get a whole lot of time to talk to you guys about some of the design elements, so I'll do that now. On this backside, both of those papers, one of them is a cut apart. They're both from Dear Lizzie, the She's Magic collection. The butterfly at the top is from the Chasing Dreams collection. I've had those puffy stickers for a while and been wanting to use them up. I felt like it matched the spread really good, so I just added that on there. And then I added some more stickers and chipboard pieces from the Pick Me Up collection by Paige Evans. Now I'm going through these little papers that I have that are perfect for journaling. These are from the Gingham Garden collection that I've been using a lot, but there's lots of spaces to write on them. And I'm going to make a alternative page that will go behind the spread here, just so that way I can add lots of journaling because I really enjoyed House in the Cerulean Sea, and so I just wanted to add some comments about that. Even though this paper is hole punched, it's obviously not the same holes that are in my binder already, so what I'm going to do is just mount that on a different piece of paper. So I was flipping through there trying to find one that I thought would match. This collection is Dear Lizzie. I think it's called All That, or maybe It's All Good, maybe. I think that one's it. And so I was just flipping through, trying to find a paper that would look good with this 4x6 card, as well as the spread that it's going to be directly behind, which is the one you just saw. So I went ahead and taped that on, just using some regular tape, so that way I could right on top of it and not have to wait for glue to dry or anything. I trimmed it down a little bit, and now I'm just lining up these holes with the edge of the paper, so that way I can hole punch it and it will fit inside of my little binder. And one of the things that I really liked House in the Cerulean Sea, and you'll see me writing about it in a second, and you might notice I did have a little bit of a problem with some of the writing. The author is very literal. He doesn't really leave a lot up for interpretation, which can be frustrating at times because I like it when the author lets you wonder about things and lets you make inferences about certain situations, but it kind of lays it all out almost like, you know, a YA book would, or like a middle school type of literature book would do. But it still had a really good storyline. It had some really great characters, so I was able to look past the writing of it. And it's not bad. I think if you're not a big reader, like, this would be a really good book to pick up and read, because, you know, you're not going to you don't have to feel like you have to read into it too much. You just, you know, read it for the story, and that's it, which, you know, sometimes it is nice to have books like that. That's why I think this is a good summer read. I just wanted to make this page blend in a little bit more with the previous spread, which was a lot more colorful. So I'm going back to that chipboard set and the sticker set to try to add some more colors and also some dimension. I used the other little banner pieces on a different spread in this album. So if you want to see that, you can check out my playlist. I believe that's episode 3. And I had just had a couple left, so I thought this was a perfect opportunity to use those up because it adds some color. I added some more of the pink enamel dots that I've used throughout this album and a little star and floral sticker towards the bottom. So now I am adding it all into my album, completing it, and of course popping in the journaling. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to check out the other ones. I love making these and sharing my love of books and crafting with you all. And I will see you in my next one. Bye!